Hello, and thank you for your question. Yes, there are 9 beers I have rated a 5 out of 5 out of the 304 beers I have reviewed. So these beers are in a particular order. We're going to start off with this one right here. This is the Maple Cinnamon Toast Vanilla Vixen. This beer tastes exactly like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It was absolutely incredible. Next up is this delectable beer right here. This is the Starved Exhibit D. This beer definitely took my breath away, and it's probably one of the top 5 beers I've ever had. Also, here's the description of this beer. Please check it out. It is fantastic. This beer actually came from the Veil special release at their second location in Richmond. Now we have this beauty right here. This is the Tefnut Blackout, and is a collaboration with the Veil Brewing Company and Omnipolo. And let me tell you, this is probably one of my favorite gozes I've ever had. This beer was extremely tart, but absolutely incredible. And pretty thick as well. This is definitely one of those beers that you got upset at yourself because you didn't buy more of it because you didn't know how good it was going to be. Also, pause to read the description of this beer because it is truly fantastic. Okay, so we had to change locations because, work things and all that good stuff. But next up is the 3 Threads Blend number 2 from Barrel Chest Wine and Beer. This barley wine was top tier, like absolutely incredible. Definitely in my top 5 favorite beers I've ever had in my life. This beer was so good, I literally had my friend buy the rest after I tried it once. Also, pause and read the description because this beer, I'm telling you, was absolutely amazing. Definitely recommend it, but it's no longer in production, which is so sad because I love this beer so much. Next up, we have this delectable beer right here. This is the Key Lime New England IPA by Ballard Brewing. Now, I know a good chunk of you all have seen me review a lot of beers from Ballard Brewing, and that's because the beer is easy to get where I'm at. And almost every beer I've had from them has made it on the beer shelf, but this one right here is top tier. But this beer right here in particular is my favorite IPA that I've ever had. And to answer any questions, yes, I will be driving to Ballard Brewing as soon as I see that this beer is being made again. Also, pause to check out the description of this beer because let me tell you, there is no better IPA in my opinion. The next beer up the bat is this wonderful creation right here. This is Caked Up by Commonwealth Brewing Company. This beer is in the top 3 beers I've ever had. This stout was indescribable. This is also another instance of me trying it once and buying the rest. I told my friend, I said, pick up every can that you can find of this. Also, pause to read the description of this beer because it is incredible. And let me tell you, this beer doesn't need a lot of adjuncts to be great. It just needs a few ingredients. And let me tell you, I love this beer with a passion. Now we have belly shirts. This beer, fucking phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. One of my friends was visiting one of our other friends, and he brought back 4 different beers from this brewery, but this one was by far the best out of the 4. Also, pause to read the description, and let me tell you, just like the description says, I almost went and bought a belly shirt that day. And now we have the Bourbon Barrel Circle of Wolves. One of my friends was actually holding on to this beer 3.5 years before we opened it, and let me tell you, it was well worth the wait. For me personally, barley wines are my favorite style of beer, and this one was definitely a top tier barley wine. I actually have a variation of this beer called the River of Wolves that came from the Veil's 5-year anniversary. And as always, pause to read the description because let me tell you, this barley wine is absolutely fantastic. And last, but certainly not least, the Double Barrel King Molokai. This beer is actually my favorite beer I have ever had. I actually have a notification set on Untappd for this beer. So when it is made again, I will be driving to Richmond, Virginia for this beer. If it happens while I'm at work, my boss already knows I'm leaving that day. My mom already knows not to talk to me that day. Everyone who knows how much I enjoy this beer knows that when this beer comes back, don't talk to me because I'm driving to Richmond to get this beer. And now that I have a car that works well, I am definitely prepared to make the trip to get this beer. The first time I had this beer, and it was actually my first beer review on Untappd, was December 16th of 2018. And out of the 304 beers that I have reviewed on Untappd, or even including the beers I haven't reviewed on there, this is still my #1 beer of all time since 2018. Pause to read the description. To read the description of my favorite beer ever. Thank you so much again for your question. And yeah, these are all the beers I have given a 5 out of 5 rating to on Untappd.